Attention.
Hi, everyone. Michelle Melendez, Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com here with Michael Tiavana, one of the first guests and participants of the Earth Day, author of Globalization and all kinds of stuff. So, and a farmer, a 50-year farmer. But this is what we're going to be talking about today. So let me just share my screen. It's happening live, just so you know, as it is shared. And this was 2 hours ago. I'm going to have it play again. Come on, buddy. I'll restart it. Here we
It
go.
only lasts 5 seconds. And the meaning of this is to show that it's a DEW weapon, direct energy weapon. You can see it there.
Coming down, coming down.
And look at there's multiple bombs going, multiple explosions going off in this thing. And look at the spread on the bottom. It's at least a mile or two wide.
And look at how many bombs went off. Explosions went off in this. One more time, you guys. And where is this happening?
Haifa is the main port of Israel.
Haifa is the main port of Israel. And who did this?
Iran.
So let us know what's going on, because Iran's no joke. You don't want to mess with Iran. And the people that back up Iran are China, Russia, Pakistan,
Turkey. Turkey's the largest army in the region, and they're all backing Iran, and Iran is backing Palestine. So there's the momentum of all this anti-Israel Zionism because of what's happened in Gaza. But the reason why I wanted to show that example of a direct energy weapon on Haifa is that you don't want to poke the hornet's nest.
You don't want to poke the bear.
You don't want to. It's not just about nukes. It's about all kinds of weapons that can and are being used that are beyond anything that's ever been used in the past. And you don't want to mess with it. Now, if that's an AI generated image,
which is possible, but probably not.
But the results are all the same. We saw the same images in Lahaina and Santa Rosa, California, and Paradise, California. You see these direct energy weapons in use. If they're made up, whatever, the result is the same. It's total devastation down below. That's what we're living with.
And so what are the people doing now over there?
The people are in the streets. Israelis are in the streets begging Iran for forgiveness, forgive their government. Please don't attack anymore. They are totally freaked out. When you lose half your city overnight, the rest of the city's going, well, we would be next. Please don't do this. Please stop. So right now, today, European leaders, European Union, Germany, France, Great Britain, are in talks with Iran about peace. Let's hope that lasts. Let's hope something comes out of that.
So why do you think this is happening?
It's happening because there's certain people in the world that I call them the caterpillar people. We're in a stage of metamorphosis, and the caterpillar just has to kill everything. And that's what the Zionists are doing. They're killing olive trees to human beings. They're just killing everything. And it's a natural process. A caterpillar has to kill itself and kill everything around it. And when that's gone, we're going to have a beautiful butterfly. Now, here's the butterfly. There's hundreds of millions of people marching on Gaza right now. Probably tens of millions could turn into hundreds of millions. They're coming from all directions. They're coming from North Africa. They're coming from East Asia, Indonesia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt. They're all marching. Plus the Western countries, Great Britain, all through Western Europe. They have millions more marching from the United States, from France, from Italy, over to Egypt, and they're all going to meet in Gaza and confront the IDF and what's going on there. The sad news is the IDF is killing off as many Palestinians as they can right now.
Why,
That's the sad news.
and why is that?
They think it's their mission as chosen by God to wipe out all the other people on earth.
Who is the
They're
IDF?
chosen. The Israeli Defense Army. I don't know the F word.
And because Israel, the nation wasn't a nation. The Zionists actually put that nation who are like took it and literally took over Palestine. And they said that, oh, nobody lived there, when that actually was not the truth. But who are the Zionists?
Well, Great Britain gave the Zionists that land after World War II. And the Zionists came out of Khazaria, which is just north of what we're talking about. They involved Turkey, Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan. Those countries up there was in southern Russia. That was all an empire that isn't talked about very much but until now. And that's where Netanyahu comes from. And most of the right-wing Israeli people are from that area. And it looks like they want to reestablish their empire once again. And that would include Iran, go down to part of Saudi Arabia, go up past Turkey. That's their land.
The Khazarian, the history of Khazaria is they actually were Satanists. I mean, basically, they're basically, they would murder people traveling. They would literally take their identity. A lot of, and I don't want to say the whole race, just like people are saying, oh, it's the Jews. It's not, you know, I believe it is some type of satanic cult or demons in the world. I'm not sure, but this organization, this culture doesn't believe in human rights. They don't believe, they murder people. And also there's, and I don't want to get into cannibalism, but there's also that as well. So
that's a whole nother
that's
story.
A whole nother topic.
But it's written in their holy books that they will drink the blood of their enemies and feed their enemies to their enemies. Don't eat the sausage in Israel. That's all I can say.
So in this, and I just want to say also, this is not all the people, because I don't believe like everybody's, oh, it's the Jews. It's not. Goes back. This is an ancient war, you guys, ancient war that we're in, and this is coming to a head. And tell us about Trump and Netanyahu. We had a good conversation about this last night.
Yeah, Trump, as you know, went on a tour of Middle Eastern Arabian countries and said, Netanyahu and I are split up. I'm not talking to him anymore. And I believe in a two-state solution. I support Palestine. So that meant Saudi Arabia and Qatar signed hundreds of billions of dollar deals to invest in America. When he got back in the United States, he made up with Netanyahu, said, I totally support Israel. I totally support Netanyahu and what they're doing, and they have our backing. And that's where it stands now. So.
And also, yeah, guys have to understand that 80% or more now, I don't know how many now, but I know that it was 80% the last time I checked a few months ago, of our Congress has a dual citizenship with Israel. It's like, why is that? What the heck is that? Who do they stand for? Is it, I believe it was Stu Peters had somebody go into Congress and ask them if it was between Israel and America, who would you stand for? And they.
Well, when you look at the interview between Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, senator from Texas, the other day, and Ted Cruz said that it is in the Bible that America has to support Israel, and that's just made up I don't know.
America wasn't even, around when the Bible was created. But anyway, there's so many things, so many questions, and I'm actually decoding the Bible as well. So anything else? Oh, and this is the other thing I wanted to share as well. Did you want to say something else?
I just want to talk quickly about the weather wars.
Yeah.
So Trump is taking 2 weeks off before he makes his decision if America goes to war or not, which is totally out of bounds. Then Congress is clamoring to get some bill passed, says only they can make this decision. It's not up to Trump. Okay, so he says, well, I'll give it 2 weeks to see if negotiations will work. Actually, what I think he's doing is they are launching the weather wars on Iran.
Oh, that's
to
right.
Soften
Yeah.
their underbelly and create chaos over there before they attack.
Because I want to go
They
ahead.
had a huge earthquake yesterday in Iran, right in the center of Iran.
Let me show you guys that. Show you guys this. Earthquake magnitude 5.1 hits Iran, sparks theories of nuclear testing. So this is a possibility. You guys, there are weather wars. Weather modification has been happening. The first patent was in 1891. The Weather Modification Act was in 1976, passed through Congress. But look at this.
But the earthquake patent was in 1985.
The earthquake patent was in 1985. Hurricane control device. I don't remember what year that was. But look, this is terrifying. These poor people. And here's the thing. When I look at stuff like this, I think, I just think about us. This is us. That's us. These are regular people who just want to live their lives, just want to put food on the table for their kiki, and just have a peaceful life, and they're being attacked. And so what were you saying about Trump and the possibility of weather war?
Well, that things like this, they can launch this, they can launch
Floods.
they can launch
Which they did which I feel, I mean, the flooding in Dubai, there was also flooding in China, massive flooding.
just recently.
And they also have that ability. I mean, they did that in Vietnam, in the Vietnam War with the Viet Cong, with the Operation Popeye, which you can just look up. It's like everywhere.
Yeah, that was more of a spraying of Agent Orange.
Well, there was that too, but there was also Operation Popeye, the flooding of the Ho Chi Minh Trail
Oh.
to keep the equipment from getting to the Viet Cong. Yeah.
Right. And we're not the only ones with this technology, this HARP technology. China has it, other countries have it. We just like using it on everybody, including the United States. It's a public-private adventure. So it's the Air Force plus private, like Goldman Sachs is involved, different entities. You can control the weather, you can control the stock market.
And you control, yeah, well, you can put people out of business. You can take, devalue people's property. Oh, where have we seen that? GreatMauiLandGrabBook.com. Let me show you guys this as well. I wanted to show this video here. This lady, Congresswoman, this is what she has to say. This is a little bit, changing the subject just a little bit briefly.
This is what we want you to open your eyes to.
Second, I want to make sure that the sound is on when she talks. Okay, so sound is on. Okay, good. Sharing.
If it can happen, as we've said time and time again, it can happen to folks with green cards. It can happen to citizens. And in Oklahoma City, we see a perfect example of that. This is what we're talking about. It's not other people. It's us. It's our neighbors. It's our friends. It's people who just moved from Maryland to Oklahoma for a better life and have their house destroyed. And they can't get answers. If we watch the rest of the news clip there, they're asking ICE, who's responsible for this? And then they're sending them to another agency, and they're sending them to another agency, and nobody is accountable for what happened to them.
So what happened to these people in Oklahoma?
Well, the father stayed behind in Maryland while the mother and the daughters went on to Oklahoma City. They moved into a new house that they bought. Well, it turns out that address is what ICE had for their raid. It wasn't for the people in the house. So the old people moved out. The new people were in the process of moving in. They raided the house, arrested everybody, hauled them away, totally ransacked and destroyed the inside of the house. Welcome to Oklahoma. Welcome to the United States. But they're U.S. citizens, is the Congresswoman's point. And
So these were U.S. citizens that were raided by ICE and taken away. Did this have anything to do with the immigration issue? Or this was just a whole separate thing? Because so much of the government is compartmentalized. They don't know what each other's doing. That's also why they can get away with a lot of different stuff.
the problem is ICE is hiring bounty hunters and lone citizens in the United States to go out and make these raids. They get $1,000 to $1,500 per person. So when they raided that house in Oklahoma City, they got $4,000 to $5,000. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-year-old kid or an adult.
So how are they able to just go and take people out of their houses like
And
this?
they're deputized, but they don't have a badge, and they form these gangs. They're street gangs basically with weapons, and they go and they get an address. Okay, we're going to go arrest these people. But now they're roaming the streets of southern LA, just grabbing people. People walking down the street, if they look like a Mexican or they hear someone speaking a foreign language, they grab them. And that's not good. So the people in LA are fighting back.
How are they fighting back?
Well, they start throwing things at the vans that they take the detained people and put them in these vans or these SUVs, and they're throwing garbage at them. They're throwing whatever at the cars and chasing them away.
So why do you think this is happening? I mean, this is supposed to be America. You're supposed to be safe in your home, right? That's actually part of the Constitution. So why is this happening? What do you think? Michael's been studying this stuff for a very, very long time.
Well, we're living in Nazi Germany in 1935, and they're doing it to control the population, but mostly control through fear. It was called the Stasi in Czechoslovakia during the Nazi years.
Oh,
And,
that's right.
and you were afraid to say anything bad about the government. You had to be a model citizen. You couldn't put on a play. You couldn't write an article. You couldn't talk to people at a party and say anything bad about the Nazis. Now you can't say anything bad about Trump and all the things that he's standing for. So there's that background fear that you'll be censored, that you'll be rounded up. Who knows where it will end? And it's just out of hand. It's out of control already. But people says, oh, well, that ain't gonna happen to me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, think again.
Yeah.
Is it recent history, 1930s, it happened not just in Germany, but it happened in Russia, and it happened in the United States when they rounded up over 100,000 Japanese and put them in camps.
That's right. That's right.
Governments do that stuff. That's what happens.
Yep. Yep. And Homeland Security, isn't that very similar to what did the Nazis call what was that name? The motherland or something?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fatherland. Well, it was the homeland in Germany, and it's the homeland here.
Homeland Security. Isn't that interesting?
It's making you feel secure.
Yeah. So,
because these moms and fathers and daughters and sons are being deported. Does that make you feel better?
yeah.
So these people come here, they sneak into the country, whatever, they get here and to work, and they work. Their green cards make up 20% of our workforce right there.
And they do the jobs nobody wants to do.
And they're hard workers, they're good workers. And that is like, and then we deport them.
Tell him the story about the businessman who left his business and came back. And all of his employees were gone.
Oh, he had a little restaurant in Los Angeles. And when he came back to check up on them, they were all gone. All three of them were gone in his little restaurant. There was no one there, and they didn't know where they are. And and you never hear from these people that deported. There's no due process. So anyway, just the metaphor, it's like someone's breaking into your house so they can clean it. They're breaking into your country so they can help fix it up, make it work.
Yeah. So
they're arresting the wrong people.
This is not about fear. This is about just awareness. So just make sure that kind of just keep your eyes out, and also trust in your inner guidance. I think this is some type of war between good and evil. What do you think is going to happen next?
A lot of people praying. I think it's destiny that humans wake up to the possibility of matriarchy, and all of the patriarchal archetypes are going to fall away. This could be just a cameo appearance, the last gasp of the patriarch that we've been living in. And now it's over, because mankind isn't looking very good right now.
No. And what's really amazing is just being on this farm and like when weed eating, going around, seeing everything that's growing. Nature doesn't know that this is happening. The birds, the animals, you heard the cat earlier, we have chickens. It's like they're just doing their thing. And that's actually, I just find it so interesting. I'm like, we're always so stressed and worried about what's happening in the government and in the world, when nature is just doing its thing, which getting into nature right now is really, really important.
And that will get your natural self to flow too. So you have a nature, connecting to the nature around you can make you happier.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a quick prayer. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things, you've got this. This is such a show. And we just ask for inner strength for all people around the world right now, for those people whose homes have been destroyed by bombs and fires and floods, earthquakes. Great Spirit, we just sending them a spark of hope that they are totally taken care of. And we bind anybody who wants to harm another human being. We bind them with the infinite creation of infinite consciousness of love, Great Spirit, that there can be no more harm on this planet. Feeling into your heart right now, if you're listening to this, feel into your heart that frequency of peace and harmony. What would it feel like to have peace and harmony around the world? Give yourself permission to feel that right now for yourself, and then moving that frequency out to your neighborhood, so all of your neighbors are kept safe, knowing peace and harmony with each other. And we send that frequency out to the town that you're in, the town that we're here in on the Big Island of Hawaii. We send it to Hilo, we send it to Kona, we send it to the other islands. And we just allow this frequency of peace and harmony and safety for all people to go out like the wave of an ocean. And it goes to every single country right now. It just floods the country with white, beautiful light of love, of peace, of harmony. We call forth that all weapons, any weapon that would harm another life, another human life, that it be disabled, or that the person who is going to pull the trigger, that their heart be turned. We call that forth, and we give so much gratitude to all the angels that surround us, and to all of our guides, and to our own higher self that chose this time in history to come forth. We know that it is done. We live in a world of peace and harmony. We call that forth now, Great Spirit, and we give so much gratitude because we know it is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is.
So be it. Blessed be.
Sending you and your ohana so much aloha from the Big Island.
Aloha.